Good morning, I'm J. Lenora Bressler, and welcome to the October 18, 2017 edition of the Bible Delight in the Details, as we are looking at the Exodus narrative and some overlooked details in that very precious story. Today I want to talk about something that you see repeatedly throughout the Exodus narrative, and that is the elders or the leaders of Israel in conflict with the main leader, the God-chosen leader, Moses. Now, you see this repeatedly, that different ones of them, including Korath, whose descendants would later become very prominent in the Psalms and would write many of the wonderful Psalms. They became priests later under David. But Korath, and even up to Moses' own brother and sister, Aaron and Miriam, found a time when they felt like Moses was, that it was all about him, that it was the Moses show. Now, God had made it somewhat the Moses show. It was really God's show, of course, but Moses was obviously God's chosen leader. But it does show you the importance of being a very humble leader. And even when you are humble, and Moses, it is said in the Bible, was humble, you're still going to have people who are jealous, people who want to take power, people who are envious, perhaps even of a closeness that you might have with the Lord at a certain time. Maneuvering this takes great wisdom, and frankly, it's not human wisdom, it's supernatural wisdom. Moses seems to have had it most of the time, but I urge you to notice that even he, who was friends with God, who was in apparently almost constant communication with God, even he, who was truly humble, had difficulty with these underleaders having some pushback from them. When they were on his side and when they were working with him, things went very well in the camp. But when not, there was conflict, there was rumbling, and obviously leaders can make a situation that might have been a molehill, they can turn it into a mountain. So be aware, those of us who are in ministry at various levels, whether we are at the moment, like if you were a preacher and you are at the very top of that, or anywhere in the hierarchy as we step down from that, be aware that it is difficult. It is difficult to be a leader. It is difficult sometimes to follow a leader. I think it's particularly difficult when you're in that mid level of leadership where you have to answer to somebody and also you have other people who are looking to you for guidance. It is very difficult to be a good leader in any context, but particularly in the context of spiritual leadership, because so much is at stake. So much is depending upon how that goes. And so for those who are leaders in ministry and those of us following leaders in ministry, let us look to the Lord. The Lord does pull people out and give them positions for a time, for a purpose. And when we see that, we should respect their position, we should respect them, and try to help them rather than tear them down. Try to support them. That's what good followers do, but it's also what good leaders do. And always remember, wherever you are in the hierarchy of leadership, we all have a boss. Every one of us. And the boss, ultimately, is the Lord. Let the boss teach you how to be the leader he's called you to be, and the leader you've been called to serve as well. I'm J. Lenora Bressler. Visit me on the next edition of the Bible Delight in the Details. Have a great day.